I saw Charlie this morning riding on a horse with Jesus, and Jesus has given him like a horse ranch. He has a ranch and he has all these animals. And I just feel like Charlie loved horses.
You know, sometimes when I start these videos talking about these self-proclaimed prophets of God, I have consternation. I struggle over whether I should break out ye old bat phone to Jesus. And in this particular case, I don't really have a choice. I have talked about all of the wild, the insane things that have been said about Charlie Kirk, about his character, about his new station, that have been said about by politicians, that have been said by religious figures. And this is just another one of those cases that these people think so little of their particular faith, their particular self-proclaimed, deeply held convictions and beliefs about their holy scriptures, that they're willing to bastardize it, trying to elevate a racist, Christian nationalist bigot that Charlie Kirk was. And this is a wild little short video I'm going to play for you from a woman named Kim Robinson, who's so arrogant or mentally ill, I'm not sure, that she has written multiple books about her trips to heaven. And she's not just some kook out in a street corner. She's been interviewed by well-known Christians on their live streams about it. Get a load of this title of this particular book that she wrote. Heaven is real and fun. Just in case, I guess, I'm going to get this out of the way. Just in case, I guess, you thought heaven might be boring and you thought to yourself, like I did as a child, what are we going to do up in heaven for eternity? You're going to get bored, because in my faith tradition, it was just that you're sitting around worshiping God for eternity. That apparently, in my faith tradition, God was God was like a Trump-like figure, a Trump character who needs attention constantly, needing to be worshiped for eternity, I guess as a thank you for shepherding us through genocides and everything else that God allowed to happen, didn't prevent from happening. But that's the title of the book, Heaven is Real and Fun. And here's the back cover. Since 1988, the Holy Spirit has been taking me to heaven, says the author, Kim Robinson. Jesus would show me various fun places and allow me to do fun things in heaven. I asked why he was showing me all of these places, and Daddy God said, I'm not even joking. This is really the back cover of the book. And Daddy God said, this is a quote from Daddy God, according to Kim Robinson. This is what God told her. Quote, because people think all they do here is float around wearing diapers, eating grapes, or doing nothing but bowing before me. I have planned for each person in detail what makes them happy to be here with me. So you are to tell them heaven is real and fun, and Jesus is coming soon. So apparently this title, as stupid as it may sound to you, disrespectful viewer, is actually the words of God himself speaking to, on one of her many trips to heaven, Kim Robinson. And apparently, if you look at that, I won't belabor this, but I hope you're fond of skiing or roller coasters, because it's going to be thrilling, which is strange because a lot of these types of sports, the reason they're fun, the reason that a roller coaster is fun is because it's thrilling. And why is it thrilling? Because you feel fear. Because, oh my God, gravity's the thing. If I fall, I could die. This is exciting. I know I'm safe, but oh, it's exciting. That's why it's intense. That's why it's fun. That's why it strikes that dopamine in our system. Thrill seekers. So are you going to have those same fears in heaven? Will the dopamine still be there? I don't know. It's not the only book she wrote. Very quickly, I'll go over her follow-up. Heaven is still fun. In case you thought maybe the fun died down. Nope. It's still fun. And again, from the back cover, this book will help you begin having your own encounters with Jesus. The veil was torn when Jesus died on the cross, allowing us to enter into heaven. He has done the work so we can experience Daddy God and Jesus. Daddy God and Jesus, says Kim Robinson in the book. Anyway, I'm not going to belabor this. Let's get to the quote. Let's get to the clip. Not the quote. Let's get to the clip of her. I'm going to play for you a little later something to remind you, or maybe you didn't see the video of Kat Kerr, another self-described prophetess of God, someone who gets God's messages just called up on her bat phone to Jesus. And she said that Charlie Kirk was awarded a tunic. Apparently, fashion doesn't change in heaven. It's the same as the first century. But he was awarded a tunic and a quiver filled with 1,000 arrows of light. That was his reward after having been assassinated here on earth. And apparently that's not all he's gotten. Listen to Kim Robinson talk about the fun, I guess, that Charlie Kirk is having in heaven with Jesus.
This morning when I was praying and going over my notes, and reading this, the Lord showed me that he showed me Charlie in heaven. And like I said, I don't know anything about Charlie. So I hope somebody puts in the chat or lets me know if this is, what you know about him. But I saw Charlie this morning riding on a horse with Jesus, and Jesus has given him like a horse ranch. He has a ranch and he has all these animals. And I just feel like Charlie loved horses. And right now with this morning, he was on these horses and he was riding in his horse ranch with Jesus. Wow. And I'm just like, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's one way to describe it. It is indeed amazing, unbelievable, some might say. Some might categorize that as something that is not to be believed. Charlie riding on his horse with Jesus. He's been given property in heaven. He's been given great wealth. Apparently money's still a thing in heaven too. He's been given a horse ranch with a lot of animals, and he's out there riding around with Jesus. And look, like I said, I don't know if she's mentally ill, and if she is, then I guess it's wrong to poke fun at her. But I don't think that's what it is. I believe that she is a grifter and a charlatan and a liar who's trying to pull the wool over the eyes of the flock. That to try to promote Charlie Kirk to a position of piety, of righteous influence over the body politic of America when he was nothing but a racist, Christian nationalist bigot. And she's not the only one. I'll remind you, and then we'll cut it here. Of Kat Kerr, the pink-haired, self-described prophetess of God, who talked about the tunic and the arrows of light. Make it make sense.
When I saw him standing next to the Father, he was right there up at the throne with the Father, and there was silence in the throne room at that point. People always come to welcome people there. He was wearing like a tunic outfit, like tunic top and pants, and it was white and it had gold trimmed all over.
You mean he had a choice and he went and got that? Is that what you're saying?
No, the Father took him. He wanted him to have it. He wanted for a purpose.
Okay.
This is you, and I realize now after seeing this, he was getting part of his reward for what he had done. For all the years he had given himself to rescue people, especially the youth. And then when I saw him turn, he had on a quiver. And that quiver, I knew, Brother Spirit, There were 1,000 arrows of light
Wow.
in this quiver. And this was part of his reward.
What I'd really like to know is, did Kim Robinson, Kim, if you're watching, sister, let me know. Did you see, was Charlie Kirk wearing the tunic that he was awarded by God? Was Charlie Kirk sporting the quiver of 1,000 arrows of light while he rode majestically on his steed with God? And also, why are there animals that are still beasts of burden in heaven? Are they not freed too? Or are they also continuing to be slaves of humans in heaven? I got all kinds of questions that are not being explained in these goofy interviews that are done. What are your questions? I'm not hawking the book, by the way. Please do not go buy this book. But what are your questions? I love to see your questions about this in the comments below the video, wherever you're watching it. You could also call the voicemail line. Maybe we'll do a separate voicemail video about reactions to this. 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. I'm recording this from the past, since I'm in Japan at this very moment that you're watching this. And I'm just getting some content set up for the future. Maybe I should ask Jesus about my time travel ability. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.